Finish him. Hadouken! Fatality.
And welcome to the Free Your Geek podcast. I am your host, Jay Free. To my left, welcome back, KB.
What's up, brother?
How you doing? We're going to talk all about your experiences, but you're happy to be back.
I was on hiatus for a while, but
we held down the fort. And again, to my far left, the Don. You know, Don's been consistent. Don's great.
Hey,
Don
the
really
people's
filled
geek.
in. I don't know if you've seen last week's show, but he was sitting in your chair being like, I could get used to sitting in.
That was 2 weeks back.
Oh, that's right. I'm sorry.
Last week
See,
we
I
had,
don't even know what's going on in my
we had
own
the
show.
next generation of Geek.
That's right. Geek, the next generation. Yeah. So we've had a couple of interesting weeks without you. But we mentioned, that you were across the pond, and I did a very bad British accent every single time. But you weren't even in England. Where were you, KB?
No, I was in Galway, Ireland.
Galway, Ireland.
Yes.
And you were out there for work.
Yep.
We're not going to say what we do, but you
Yep.
you had to go do something international.
He's a hitman.
He is. No, it's not. He kind of looks like one. Just, Agent 11. I don't know. So you were out there for work. We're going to talk some cool sites. I know you posted some stuff to the page on the Facebook page. We have a street band that you saw. We'll be playing them at the end of the show. So instead of doing our normal outro, we'll do that band, a little snippet from one of their songs. But just tell us about your experience real quick.
Beautiful place. If you are, I'll put it this way, if you are in your 20s, it's a great place to be. 2 colleges nearby.
Nice.
So you have, lots of people geeking out about things. See people with Ninja Turtle shirts and the superhero stuff is there. They have a passion. Like we always talk about geeking out as being passionate about something. Their passion for music is it's mind blowing. Like you walk down Key Street, which is where I was staying, and basically like probably every 50 yards or so, like there's another person playing something. Like if you go down the street, there's probably at least 5 or 6 people playing, and it's like a culture there. It's like the people, you'll see other acts waiting for other acts to finish for a certain spot because of the acoustics.
Pick right back up.
Yeah, and pick right back up. So it's definitely quite the scene. It tends to get a little warmer out there sooner than it does here. So temperatures I caught was like high 40s, low 50s kind of thing.
Yeah.
So the musicians were kind of out in force. The band Jay Free's referring to is called the Galway Street Band or the Galway Street Group. They basically
Galway Street Club.
Street Club. That's
I know more about it than KB gave it to me earlier.
I sat in. They basically like the whole street like stopped and these guys performed. Like they were incredible. And it's a group of musicians that they're from different bands and stuff, but they get together and they do this. And
That's cool.
The dude named Spud Kennedy is he was singing and he's just really good singer. It's more of a blues kind of thing. But, you see all kinds of instruments out there. I seen the accordion. I seen the banjo. I seen the washboard. I seen the didgeridoo from another, the beatboxing didgeridoo guy. It was just crazy.
That was awesome.
A lot of acoustic guitars, a lot of covers. Like, I heard a group of, there was 2 girls and a guy, and the guy's just playing guitar, and they're doing Paramore's Only Exception. Like,
wow.
Like in the street, or
Yeah.
I heard Dark of the Moon. Like,
That's nuts.
So a lot of really talented people down there. So I definitely, if you ever get a chance to go to Ireland, Galway is like the place for the culture, man. Like it's out there. As far as like comics and stuff, man, like they have game stores and comic book stores like here. I think I posted some statues in GameStop Plus out there. Some really cool stuff. I only post things that are different than what we'd see out here. Some small comic book stores, things like that. They have another thing where they do like comics and like instead of buying like one comic, you buy like a book that has like 3 or 4 in it of different
like mystery packs.
No,
Or
literally like it's like one book. I posted the covers when I did the covers from Ireland.
That's what it was.
Like
from.
those are like books where it'll be Harley Quinn, but like it'll be like one Harley Quinn, one Suicide Squad issue, one whatever other issue. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that. So different ways of doing things, and it's interesting just to see those things and have fun. But gorgeous city, food is fantastic. The acoustics on that street, that's why the musicians play there. The acoustics is the big thing. But seriously, man, if you ever get a chance to go there, it's definitely, and it is relatively cheap to go there.
Wow.
I know TF Green. I just found out today that Norwegian Airlines is going to be flying from TF Green, and their introductory fares are $65 tickets.
Wow.
You know,
That's like
one
super
way,
cheap,
but then
yeah.
then it's like 100 back or something like that. But still, like that's
For that price,
ridiculous.
that's not bad at all, dude.
Cheap. It's the kind of kickoff that they're going to be at TF Green.
Yeah, international flight.
Yep, and the euro to the dollar isn't that bad. Like right now, it's pretty close. So this would be the time to go.
Yeah.
Like if you think about it, in fact, I met another couple from Massachusetts, in an Italian restaurant I was at, and they just it was so cheap, we went spare of the moment.
Yeah.
They're just like, oh yeah, it was reasonable. So yeah, definitely check it out. Passion. If you love music, it is the place to go. It is absolutely the place to go. But yeah, it was an awesome trip.
So there's a lot of different types of music. I'm assuming a lot of ska, or was it more street band, like a street cover type stuff?
It's a lot of original stuff. A lot of people make original stuff. It's a lot of blues. It's a lot of guitar based. But you see a lot of the traditional Irish music there. People will say, "Oh, I want to go to Dublin," which is the other side of Ireland. That's the
I've
eastern
been there.
side. You don't get the traditional sense like you do in Galway. Like if you want to hear traditional Irish music and a traditional, see the more traditional places and stuff like that, like Galway is the place to be. Definitely that side, the western side of the island.
I could have said that's pretty awesome.
Yeah, it's an awesome trip, and hopefully I get to go back there pretty soon.
So we'll have to do an on live location while you're there.
That would be
like a Facebook live video. So basically, what I'm telling you now is you're gonna probably have to change your data plan just so you can stream from Galway, because that would be awesome for you to actually do something to our page live. That's something you should definitely
That'd be
check
really
out and look
cool.
into. But that'd be fun.
Interview some of these bands, groups.
Sean, I'm actually we're gonna try something a little bit different.
Okay.
I'm watching some of the comments come in.
Yeah.
Hi Sean, hi buddy, how you doing?
Hey, Sean.
So and
Nate Green Lantern.
yeah. So there's already people like checking in. I love it. What's up? We'll be looking at the comments from time to time, but we got a pretty interesting show. In honor of KB being back after a 2-week hiatus, we are going to be doing, on the final countdown, our top 3 international characters. So this can be comic books, movies, video games, literature,
TV shows.
television. You know it.
Making sure.
Yeah, so we have a very...
I have a feeling we're all going to go different realms.
Oh, absolutely. I was telling KB earlier today, I had about 4 pages of notes just for my top 3.
I was afraid that one of mine, which at first I was like, oh, this is my number 1, that I kind of bumped back to number 3. I was like, I have a feeling maybe we'll all touch on this person. But then what you guys just said made me think, you're saying we're going
There's
to go
like almost
different
no
routes.
way. I think we're all going all
I
different
think
ways.
we're going to
on
go
this
different routes.
I don't know, but I just want to point out KB brought in some very international pop figures.
I think that's awesome.
We have looking, I'm trying to figure out how, left to right over there, you have Magneto,
Yep.
Professor Xavier,
Yep.
Ms. Marvel,
Kamala Khan. Yep.
Mystique,
Yep.
Storm,
And Colossus.
and Colossus. So all from different areas of the world, and all part of the, well, with the exception of Miss Marvel, all part of the X-Men universe, which is kind of cool. So what else do we have on top? There's 2 little bags there.
Okay, I didn't see the bags. I'm very excited that we're doing this. This is our big March Madness.
Okay, thank you. Hey, you're waving for freedom. Okay, cool. Appreciate it. Yeah, this is our Don. Please continue.
Okay, so in honor of March Madness, we're bringing you the Geek March Madness. On the internet, you'll see a lot of, what team would win, whether it be like DC battles or DC versus Marvel battles. Well, we've come up with a little bracket setup of our own where we're going to be teaming one DC character up with one Marvel character, and we're basically putting them... I can't call it a battle royale. We can call it what? A bracket system?
It's a tournament. It's going to be a tournament.
A tournament, yeah.
So basically what's going to happen is we're going to make teams, one Marvel character, one DC character, and then pit them against another Marvel and DC team. So it'll be a really cool dynamic between the 2 characters. Whether maybe we'll have a hero and villain on one against 2 villains, and we'll leave that up to the viewers to vote on our website or through the comments. We'll go through all that. We'll drop a bracket for next week.
Nice.
We're gonna make teams, and then I'll put them in like a seed, and we'll go there, and we'll print out a nice little image, and I'll put that up on screen, and we'll be able to have the viewers and the listeners vote on each team they want to see advance, team against team. And then
So
every
awesome.
week we'll do that. So I think it's a cool idea to mix DC and Marvel characters together. So what I did was we came up with some, basically just some general heroes and villains from each side, and we put their names. I was going to put them in a hat, but it just gets kind of too messy. The bags are cool.
The bags
so
work.
one of these two co-hosts are going to pick a DC character every round, and then one's going to pick Marvel. And I'll be writing down those teams, and then we'll put them in a bracket tournament. And next week we'll start that up.
So awesome.
And then so let's. Do you want to get started? Who wants Marvel?
I'll take the Marvel.
KB
man.
already-
I'm the Marvel man.
Okay, so just arbitrarily, let's start with you, KB. Team. This is just going to be called Team Number 1.
All right, let's see who we got. Let's see who's first on the list. Our first.
We should have a drum roll here, but
Captain America.
Captain America. And who is Captain America going to be teaming up with?
What a good way to start this off. Good old Cap.
USA.
Woo!
On our international show.
That's okay because you got to start. You got to start in the homeland and
Yeah.
then move your way out.
Let's see who we will
Who
be
we got paired
pairing the mighty Captain America up with. Whew! Hal Jordan, the Green Lantern.
So Captain America and Hal Jordan.
Oh boy.
I can see red, white, blue, and green.
Green.
That's pretty cool. See,
All
let's
right.
see. Now we don't. Now this next team is not necessarily who they're going to face.
No,
Nope.
no, no.
So this is we'll figure out.
We'll put out the brackets.
Yeah, we'll put out the brackets a little bit later this week. But let's go into team number 2, starting from the Marvel side.
Juggernaut.
Ooh, powerhouse.
Juggernaut.
Okay, Juggernaut is going to.
Be paired with Sinestro.
Ooh,
That's
an
Okay.
interesting
okay.
combination.
So first
Oh,
two
boy.
teams, Captain America and Green Lantern. If they just so happen to fight Juggernaut and Sinestro, I think that'd be kind of cool. But we'll see. We'll see where the teams lie.
Yeah.
All right.
Team number 3.
Team number 3. We have Doctor Doom.
Doctor Doom. So Doctor Doom can, he's a spellcaster. He's pretty smart. Who's he going to be teaming
He's a
up with?
god,
Ooh, let's see.
or was a
with
god.
Doctor Doom pairing with Shazam.
So basically, two gods, if you will.
Yes, this is getting interesting.
Basically.
I wish I had action figures to play
Yeah,
with right now.
Well, what I'm going to try to do is, as this dwindles down, we were thinking that we weren't sure if we were going to do team by team weekly, or we're going to just do round by round. So round 4, round 3, round 2, and then the final round.
Yeah.
As we get closer and we start kind of dwindling down, I'm going to start putting together some graphics and pages and stuff that we can actually put up
Yes.
and do some stuff with. But let's go on to team number 4.
Team number 4. Let's see. Who do we have here? The Wolverine.
Now this is
Logan.
going to be the Logan version.
Logan.
We had to specify. Wolverine, who everybody thinks. Now, I just want to put this out there. I don't know. You picked. This is not chosen. We haven't opened it up yet. But Wolverine, we can safely assume is probably the most favorited Marvel character, the most badass.
Yeah.
We still have Batman in the list.
Could it be?
So let's see who we got here. Wolverine. Who's Wolverine going to be teaming up with?
Wolverine's with Cyborg.
Okay, so that's actually a cool pairing because you got Wolverine, who's very ferocious, very vicious, versus somebody who's a little bit more techie, and
Yeah.
so that could be a very formidable team.
Personality-wise, it's kind of interesting, too.
Yeah, and we'll be talking all about that and matchup to matchup starting next week. So
All right.
Oh man.
Next team. What are we up to? 5?
we're at team number 5.
Team number 5. Who do we have? We have Spider-Man. Spider-Man
And
does
this is-
whatever a spider can.
This is Peter Parker Spider-Man,
Yep.
right? Spider-Man, Mr. Jokester, what if he was with the Joker?
Could it be? Could it be? Spider-Man will be pairing up with the gorgeous Wonder Woman.
I could see
nice-
that team going pretty far too.
So that's
And our first female in the team. We have
Yeah.
a couple other females
We
coming
do.
through. So
That's 6.
we're on to
5.
team number 6.
Okay.
Yeah. So from the Marvel side, KB,
Marvel side.
who do we have?
The Green Goblin.
Ooh.
the Norman Osborn.
Mm-hmm.
Norman Osborn, Green Goblin.
It's crazy. We got Spider-Man and Green Goblin like back to back. That was a good one.
Yeah, we got Green Lantern and Sinestro back
And
to
we
back.
did.
Yeah.
That was another good one.
So,
And so Green Goblin's partner. Oh. Lex Luthor.
that is
Wow.
that is apropos.
If you cannot put together a more sinister team, that is nuts.
So you put two, businessmen, millionaires, billionaires, whatever you want to call them,
Yeah.
or whatever their net worth
What
is.
could
now.
those two minds do together?
That'd be crazy.
Yeah.
And I think we got to throw it out there that when we were discussing Lex Luthor, he was actually cyber suit.
He's
Lex
going to have
Luthor.
his power suit. Imagine if he
Yeah.
built something like that for Green Goblin, enhanced with the Goblin strength and the pumpkin
Yes.
bombs. What if he made the pumpkin bombs deadlier?
Oh,
A better glider. Think about some of the stuff the glider they could build. Oh
Be
man!
insane.
All right, team number 7.
Okay, here we go. Marvel side. Mr. Fantastic.
It's my boy.
Yeah, it's
It's
Don.
my
Don's,
boy.
that was,
Three
that's
geniuses in a row.
Yes.
true.
Who do we have going with Mr. Fantastic? Could we have another great mind?
Let's see.
Ooh, interesting. Deathstroke with Mr. Fantastic.
Oh man! So imagine Mr. Fantastic formulating a plan and Deathstroke carrying that out.
Executing it. Imagine the technology that he could, put at Deathstroke's disposal.
Right. Deathstroke, again, for his using, the old adage, humans only use 10% of their brain, and Deathstroke's, been enhanced and uses, his full capacity of his brain. Imagine, like you said, what if there's some type of nullifier or negative zone gun or something like that, and that's in Deathstroke's hands. Imagine that
Oh,
possibility.
Here we go, Marvel. What are we up to? Team number 8?
Team number 8 from the Marvel side,
The Phoenix.
Oh,
the Jean Grey Phoenix.
Jean Grey Phoenix.
whew. Jean Grey Phoenix to me is like an instant game over.
Well,
She
it's
is.
true, but imagine Phoenix against somebody like Doctor Doom.
Ah,
or somebody like a Shazam or a Green Lantern.
I'd like that.
Green Lantern deals with a lot of extraterrestrial and alien life.
Yes.
Imagine what if in some realm he's dealt with the Shi'ar and he has dealings with the Phoenix Force. You don't know.
Wow. Nice.
See, this is
Nice
going to be the
job
discussion
right
that is
there.
going
I
to lead
like
to. it.
that.
DC.
I would love to open this up and to say Superman.
Let's see.
Ooh, Solomon Grundy pairing up with the Phoenix.
That's Odd
Solid.
pairing.
It's very odd.
It's like Phoenix.
But when you think of
Solomon
it,
Grundy.
Solomon Grundy can't die.
Can't die.
The
yeah.
Phoenix keeps rising from the ashes. It's like it's
Be
almost
really
like
hard to
Team
get rid of
Undead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that'll
right.
be an
Team
interesting pairing. And I'd be
Undead.
curious to see who they
Team number 9. Let's see. Who do we have? We have on the Marvel side Iron Man, Tony Stark.
the Tony Stark version. Iron Man. Again, another tech guy. Imagine him and Lex Luthor going one-on-one with their power suits.
Yeah.
But who from the DC side
Could complement Tony Stark in such an incredible way.
or be similar? Again, Batman's still in there. What about two billionaires who use their tech?
Yep.
Team him up with the Flash.
Wow. What would be their team name? Iron Flash?
Iron Flash.
Wouldn't be Flashman.
KB, if you were Flash Man, we would not have you on the show. I was going to try to think of something funnier, but no. We just wouldn't have you.
right.
That's a very cool team.
team we have to 10?
Yeah, team number 10, man.
Mystique.
Oh, I love Mystique.
Raven Darkholme.
Yeah.
She
I
can
love
take the
having her.
appearance of anyone. So imagine her on a team where she can kind of be a little bit more subterfuge.
Yeah.
Who we pairing Mystique with?
Cirque?
Ooh.
As Cersei.
Cersei? Oh.
Cersei. So she's a Wonder Woman's main baddie.
Is that the cheetah looking?
Nope,
girl?
that's Cheetah. This one's more of a sorceress.
Ooh,
So we're
interesting.
gonna have somebody that can change shapes and somebody that
Can alter.
do some
can alter their
spells.
appearance.
Wow.
Cersei.
Pretty
Yeah,
That's-
I feel bad you're giving Don, where he's more of a Marvel guy. You're giving him all
I'm
the
hands
DC
down
stuff.
a complete Marvel guy, but you know what I gotta say? That's our first all-female team.
That's
Yep.
correct. Girl
All
power.
right. Marvel time.
We're getting there. We're getting
Ooh,
there.
this is one you always want to know. Who's going to be paired up with? Thor.
Oh God,
Thor.
Thor,
Yes.
the powerhouse,
Yeah.
the Asgardian.
Who's he?
Oh man.
Is this a game changer?
Superman.
No, this is definitely not a game changer. Thor teams up with the Joker.
I don't know.
Okay.
What?
I don't see them
I think
getting
they
along.
kill each other.
I know.
That'd be kind of interesting. All right.
Oh, come on, Thor. This could be a good time.
Imagine if Joker could pick up the hammer.
Oh, man.
All
I
right.
love it.
Team 12.
Team 12.
Venom.
The Eddie Brock version
Yes.
of Venom.
Not the
And
Topher. Not the Topher. Grace.
Not the Topher Grace. We talked about that. Was it last week we talked
It
about
was.
that? Not the Topher Grace version,
No,
the comic
no.
book version.
No Eric Foreman. Oh, man. Venom is teaming. Oh, man. Why couldn't I have picked this one last time? Venom and Superman.
Okay, now,
Super symbiote.
what if the symbiote has knowledge of Krypton? Being an otherworldly space
Yeah.
being. Alien
be.
race, Or maybe, what if the symbiote got onto Superman?
That's what I mean.
That would be crazy.
Super symbiote.
So we have 4 left.
4 left. Team number 13.
Who are some of the big ones that haven't come out? Batman.
Batman.
Hulk. Did we put Hulk in there?
Yeah, I believe Hulk is in
Ooh.
there. Yeah.
Be a nice little team.
All right.
Bat-Hulk.
So Marvel.
Bat Hulk.
Watch, it's going to be rigged right now.
Captain Marvel. Carol Danvers.
Captain Marvel. Teaming up from the DC side with
Womp womp. Aquaman.
Aquaman. So space and sea is covered.
Space and sea, mate. Yeah.
Aquaman gets a bad rap, man. Like I like Aquaman. He's very powerful. He's
Yeah.
awesome.
No, he doesn't. He deserves it.
Now
So
you're mean.
for those of you who are just joining in, we just want to let you guys know we're doing a March Madness with Marvel and DC characters pairing up. We're breaking them down into a bracket. So if you're tuning in right now, what we're actually doing is we're making these incredible teams. Just figured I'd let you guys know.
And we'll read the teams back when we're done.
Yeah.
We'll recap it, but essentially, what we're doing is we're going to be pitting a team of Marvel and DC versus a team of Marvel and DC. So single elimination 16 team tournament. So
Yes.
speaking
right.
of teams, we're on team number 14.
14. Let's see. The Hulk.
Okay,
Bruce
so-
Banner, not Amadeus Chow.
Yeah, for those that don't read comics, there's a new Hulk. We're not using him. We're using the old known Bruce Banner version of the
Banner.
Hulk. But who from the DC side would a Hulk be teaming up with? Did we
Batman.
call it?
It's Batman. Oh, my God.
By the way,
That's the first team we've called.
right, and both have the first name of Bruce.
Yeah.
Team
B
Bruce.
squared. Team Bruce. Save Martha.
Oh, that'd be an interesting team. Imagine Batman having to control the Hulk
I know.
with his rage. Oh, that'd be kind of interesting. 15. Let's do it. Marvel
Getting
side.
down to the nitty gritty. Storm.
Storm.
Love Storm.
She's amazing. One of the greatest X-Men of all time. One of the most powerful X-Men. Controlling the weather versus, or teaming up with, rather.
Teaming up.
Oh, wait a minute. No, that's it's Jubilee. Sorry.
Are you sure it's not Dazzler?
We know Jay Free has a thing for Dazzler.
Dazzler is awesome, but we're not
I
going
know, it is Storm.
And Storm will be teaming up with the sadistic Bane.
That would be interesting. That would be interesting.
Now, are we doing like Luchador Bane, or are we doing?
Oh, we're
like,
doing Luchador Bane. We're doing comic version. We're doing Santa Prisca Bane. All right, and our last team, and then we'll recap it, and then we'll get into the final countdown.
Who do we got? We have Magneto.
Kind of an anti-hero at this point.
So as far as team anti-heroes go, we're bringing in Lobo.
Wow, Lobo and Magneto together.
That's
Savage.
quite a combination.
So Lobo is like the DC version of Wolverine
Yeah.
for the most part, without the unbreakable skeleton, but he basically can't die.
Yep.
Yeah.
He's a bounty hunter.
Went to heaven,
Magneto?
got kicked out. Went to hell, got kicked out. Yeah.
How would they get along though? That could affect the team too.
It could.
So let's just recap it real quick. So our 16-team single elimination tournament, in no particular order. This is not going to be the bracket, but we have Captain America teaming with Hal Jordan, the Green Lantern, Juggernaut teaming with Sinestro, Doctor Doom and Shazam, Wolverine and Cyborg, Wonder Woman and Spider-Man, and then this is Kismet, the Green Goblin teaming with Lex Luthor,
I think that's like one of the most appealing ones.
Yes.
and Mr. Fantastic and Deathstroke, Phoenix, Jean Grey with Solomon Grundy. We have Iron Flash, Iron Man, and the Flash, the Barry Allen version and the Tony Stark version.
Yes.
Mystique and Cersei teaming up.
Team Enchantress.
Thor and the Joker, which would be incredible. Venom and Superman. Captain Marvel, Carol Danvers, and Aquaman. Bruce Banner, Hulk. Bruce Wayne, Batman. Storm and Bane. And our final team, Magneto and Lobo. So we're going to draw up a little tournament. We're going to then mix these up and randomly seed them. And then
That's awesome.
Starting next week, you'll be able to vote on your favorite teams and which one should get through to the next round. So, join us next week. Make those comments. If you want to start commenting now, feel free. But we don't have any matchups yet, so I wouldn't suggest doing that. But let's check that out. I want to talk about a comment that popped up before we head into the final countdown.
It's my buddy Andrew's comment.
Yeah, because he reached out to us and I responded to him on our page. He wants to know if we're going to be doing a prison break each week when it comes out. I don't know if we're going to do it each week. Are you familiar with
I'm
Prison
definitely.
Break? So maybe prior to it coming back, maybe we'll do like what I like to call the next episode.
Yeah.
And you can talk about just give a synopsis of what's happened because I'm catching up with it now, so I didn't see it when it first aired. So, but I'm a big fan of both Dominic Purcell and
Wentworth Miller.
Thank you.
They're both on your show.
Yeah, they're both on The Flash and Legends of Tomorrow. So big fans of those guys. So yeah, I decided to check out Prison Break because I didn't catch it when it first aired. I'm kind of trying to binge watch it now, but now with Iron Fist coming out in a couple of weeks, I don't know.
Oh my God, that's a few
March
weeks
17th.
away.
Yeah. So
man.
I think we will definitely do like at least a portion on an episode before it airs. I don't know when it's coming back, but it looks like it's comes back in April. He mentioned. So
I think in the beginning of April.
So even if we just do a next episode, we can jump in there and talk a little Prison Break.
Yeah.
So. Very cool, very cool. So now we're going to go into our final segment. We have about, let me just take a quick look. We have about 28 minutes left.
Team Iron Flash.
Team Iron Flash. So let's get into our favorite segment. And in honor of KB being back, it's called The Final Countdown.
It's the final countdown. The final countdown. Yeah. Whoa.
And this is The Final Countdown. And on The Final Countdown today, KB, what are we doing?
We are doing international characters, basically. International heroes, villains.
Our top 3 favorite international characters.
Yep.
So let's get right into it. Now, Don, I know last week you enjoyed being kind of in the middle, but I think we're going to, if it's okay with you, we're going to start with you and work our way this way.
Yeah.
All right.
I'll jump back in the.
So, starting at number 3, Don.
So, starting at number 3, if there is one person that comes to mind as far as an international icon, in my eyes, there can only be one name, but he was so cookie cutter that I could not make him my number 1. My international number 3, he likes his drinks shaken, not stirred. His name is Bond, James Bond. I mean, let's see, growing up, seeing, for me, I've seen a few Sean Connery movies, like as a younger me. When I really jumped in, it was Pierce Brosnan. Now it's Daniel Craig. Love him. Like, I watch those movies and I'm like, I could do that. Which I really could never, ever do that. But, like, there's something about James Bond. He always gets the girl. He always saves the day. He gets thrown into these, like, situations where, like, he's going to lose or die or not complete the mission, and he figures a way out. He makes MacGyver look like a puppy, and I'm a big fan of MacGyver. Total sidetrack right there. But when you think of James Bond, it's that expression, like, women want to be with him and men want to be him. James Bond is just like, I'm a big fan of Bond stuff. Like, I love okay, obviously this is for you geek with geeks. I love his tech. Like, this is funny. You guys remember Get Smart, the shoe
Yes.
phone and all
Yep.
stuff?
Maxwell Smart and Agent
Maxwell
89. Yeah,
Smart,
I'm
yes.
with you. I'm with you.
James Bond is like the serious version of all that, you know? Like,
Or Maxwell Smart's the comedic version
like
of a
a
James
Yeah, it's
Bond.
more the other way around.
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
the buffoon version, and James Bond's just like the slick.
He is. He is. I don't know, like T. Dalton, man. He was a beast.
Yeah.
Now, what about the classic Connery Bond? You ever really watch those, or
You know, Moneypenny was crazy. James, you know. Oh, actually, I almost said.
Yeah. No, it's all good. It's all good.
No, Connery was a beast. You know, I think he really like boomed as a character. I actually like him. Daniel Craig's my favorite because of what the movies look like.
It's more modern.
Yeah, it's very much more modern. Pierce Brosnan's kind of the Bond girls in all the Pierce Brosnan movies like really made him. The situations were cool,
Right.
but he just to me wasn't like Bond enough. I think they just like cast like, oh, Pierce Brosnan, oh, you're British, so we're gonna
make
throw
you James Bond.
Yeah, you're gonna be James.
more
Bond.
of a ladies' man than
Yeah.
an action star?
Yeah.
Where the other guy's the other way.
Yeah, and even Sean Connery had like the complete personality of it, you know?
Yeah.
Like honestly, like Pierce Brosnan.
He was too
just-
much of a ladies' man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's number 3 for me is James Bond.
You'll be hearing a James Bond again, but nothing. We'll get to that in a second.
Oh boy.
I know you guys are going all into TV and stuff. Probably, I figure that's where you guys are going. So I'm sticking in the comic book world.
No, 2 of mine are actually from comic books.
Really? Okay, cool. So, my number 3 is Nightcrawler.
Nice.
Like Nightcrawler to me, born in Germany. Just when I think of his character, every way he's been portrayed, the accent, the design, his backstory, running with gypsies, in his actually being the child of Mystique, which we don't see like in the movies nowadays, that story, because it wouldn't make any sense. But it's just he's always just such this character that also the religious aspect of him, he's very traditional, very. When I think of him, I almost want to think European Middle Ages. You know what I mean? You're that kind of vibe. And he's just always been one of my favorite characters. I've just, even like as a kid, just seeing him just kind of gravitated. He's like one of those characters like, oh, he can teleport and he can do this thing. And like, to me, that was like just the coolest power ever. And he's generally non-violent.
Yeah.
Which is, you know, a lot of you know, in the comic world, a lot of these X-Men and stuff, a lot of X-Men, and you know, they're a little more violent and more willing to fight. So I just really dig his character. I think he's cool. I love the accent. I love the look. So that's why he's my number 3.
Okay. We'll be hearing about Nightcrawler again, too. Before I get into my number 3, just want to give some quick shout-outs, honorable mentions here, because I was telling KB, I said I had 4 pages of notes. So I started grouping them together. So my British international characters that are just honorable mentions. First of all, we're talking about international characters.
I know who it is.
Go ahead.
Holmes. Sherlock Holmes.
No, but that's a great one. I'm thinking if we're
Yeah,
talking
think of that.
international, we need to be talking about the international man of mystery, Austin Powers.
I shagged her rotten, baby. Yeah. Aunt Kelly, where are you?
Right? Austin Powers, awesome. Like, you know, it's obviously very much a character. You want to talk British people? Mary Poppins.
Oh
Who
my-
hasn't grown up with Mary Poppins as an awesome, you know, character there? James Bond, as you mentioned.
Ooh.
Then I looked at some of like the Italian side from comics, The Huntress.
Yeah.
Helena Bertinelli, and Don Corleone
Yeah,
from The
Godfather.
Godfather.
Yeah.
Perfect Italian character there. And then we mentioned a bit earlier in our tournament, Bane. Bane's an international character growing up in Santa Prisca.
Oh my goodness. Now all of a sudden I'm getting like hit
All
with
these, right.
Yeah.
Count Dracula.
Right. There's tons of characters.
Helsing.
Yeah. All over, like horror,
Wow.
comic books, you know, any type of genre. They have international characters that you typically gravitate toward. Like I said, I have 2 comics. KB already touched on one, but my number 3 is Elizabeth Betsy Braddock, also known as Psylocke.
Oh my
Yeah.
God.
Psylocke's a good one.
So I just love this character. You know, she was born and raised in Malden, Essex, England. She was a mutant with telepathic and telekinetic capabilities. Telepathic to start off with. She later gained telekinetic. And basically, her mind was taken out of her body, and put into a ninja assassin. So she went from this British girl to this like Asian girl with a British accent and purple hair. And she's just a badass ninja who turned her psychic power into a psychic blade.
That was so cool.
And used that to kind of like stab and mentally stop, her foes. She also, now, more of the ninja, she can now focus it into other weapons. More recently, she's done katanas with her psychic knife. And she's also created bow and arrows, so now she can fire psychic like blast via a bow and arrow.
That's so cool, man.
And then when she took the Crimson Dawn, she could blend into the shadows and travel via shadows as well. So she's just, again, we want to talk about powerful women, badass women. She makes no bones about who she is. She owns what's happened to her, and she's just like, I am who I am, and I'm badass, and I'm powerful, and I'm sexy, and all this stuff, and good for her. And I love that character. I think that character. And I'm not even going to be touching upon the entire growth as far as the different teammates and relationships and just trials and tribulations and story arcs she's been through. But she's been through a lot, and she's still a strong, badass character.
Yeah.
From England. So that's my number 3. Moving on to number 2.
I want to comment on how my first interactions with both of your characters. Do you guys remember the X-Men arcade game?
Yes.
Yep.
Nightcrawler was a monster. His special move, ripping through all the
Yep.
guys.
I always thought it would, before I really knew about it, I thought he just ran really fast, but it was
Yeah.
like the teleporting.
I thought that was really cool. And for Psylocke, X-Men Children of the Atom
Yes.
for Sega Genesis.
Amazing game. Amazing game.
I think I had it for Sega Genesis.
Yeah.
She was awesome.
Yeah, it was,
how
it was the second, the sequel, because the X-Men arcade game was good.
Yep.
But in the second one, I think it's like Mojo World or
Yes,
something. Yeah.
yes, yes.
Yeah,
But
very cool game.
totally love those characters in
Yeah.
that.
Number 2.
Number
I
2.
wish I was as articulate as this person and trying to tie all this stuff together.
I'm not international.
Oh no, I know you're from this. You're from New England,
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
but he's very ferocious and valiant. No hints. That
Ferocious and valiant.
No.
so V from Vendetta
Very
is my very ferocious, valiant, vindictive.
Oh, because of the V's. I get
Yes. So I explained to you guys, there's not too much comic book stuff I know. So when that movie came out, I was like, V for Vendetta, I hadn't even seen a preview or anything. I kind of sat down with my cousin. We're watching this movie. And literally when the movie ended, I was like, oh, we gotta watch that again. That was awesome.
Yeah.
The whole
Hugo Weaving, isn't
yeah.
it?
Agent Smith.
Yeah.
And oh my God, think of him, Agent Smith. He was in Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
He was the High Elf or something. He's all
Elrond,
over the
yeah.
place. Red Skull, but sticking to his character as V, the mind games he played with Evie to break her from that fear that she had, I don't know how to explain it, sitting on her shoulder all that time. The fight scenes were incredible, but the fact that everything that he was doing was for a purpose. He was going up against look, it's an overseas movie, against the London establishment that they have created to put fear in these people's hearts to run their lives. And granted, I don't know everybody, but people know that I don't watch the news. I feel like the news is flooded with subliminal messages to keep you in check. In
You feel it has an agenda.
I do 100%. I feel like it has an agenda. So when they're showing stuff like that in the movie, how the formerly United States is now in a terror, all stuff like that. This movie got me on so many different levels that when it was over, I was like, oh, I gotta watch it again in case there was anything I missed. But his character was so cool. The Guy Fawkes mask. That last scene where he's going up against Creedy, and Creedy's like, you only got your knives and your karate. We've got guns. And he just cleans house. He cleans house, takes them all out with his knives, and drops the little bulletproof vest. Yeah, so V was just an awesome character for me. V's my number 2.
Very cool.
My number 2. The Black Widow.
That's good. She was in consideration.
Yeah.
Also, just to go back to yours too, Zorro.
Zorro.
Zorro was making the list too. But going back to Black Widow, let's go
Yep.
to Black Widow.
So Black Widow, Natasha Romanoff. So I think the thing about the Black Widow, I just love the whole sleeper cell agent thing. We've seen her in the Marvel movies. She kicks so much butt, and now she's a very good role model for women these days in the movies and things like that for kids growing up. Just the red hair, the slim athleticism, the Red Room, the whole Red Room story behind her, and training to be an assassin, and that whole thing. It just really, I mean, if you're defining something international, like an international villain, even though she's not a villain, we think of a sleeper agent, you know? So to me, that's why, you know, she has to be on the list, because she's probably, who's another well-known sleeper agent, if you can think of any in...
Well, just the Winter Soldier, but that's
Winter
not
Soldier,
international.
but it's also in the same realm. Like,
Right.
she even trained, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. Like, so to me, you know, a sleeper cell agent should be in the, you know, in the consideration. And like I said, she just kicks so much butt. It's crazy. So
And I like how the fact, like you said, she's powerful. She can
Yep.
fight. She can hold her own.
Yep.
She basically stands her ground with her opinion. She doesn't.
yep, she doesn't back
Yeah.
off
She doesn't
anything.
compromise.
And despite going through all the brainwashing,
Right.
You know,
And she's still very feminine at the same time.
Yep.
And she basically embraces that part of her too, which is
Highly intelligent.
Okay.
too.
Black Widow versus James Bond.
You know what? I got to give it to Black Widow.
Yeah.
James Bond would try to schmooze her and try to be like, you know,
Smack him in the face.
Let's go back to my place. And
But I
blah,
mean,
blah, blah.
the truth of it is, she would probably fake buy into it, and just like any Black Widow,
Widow's bite.
they'd
Yep.
that's it.
Yep.
Boom.
Done.
Just like
Very
that.
cool.
So again, my number 2 just ate his number 3. So on to your number 2.
So on to my number 2, KB. You already kind of touched upon it, but this character was born in Witzeldorf, Bavaria, the child of Mystique and a mutant demon known as Azazel.
Zazel.
And he grew up in the circus, learned how to fence. His powers, as we talked about, teleportation, bamf. When he teleports, it smells like brimstone. So yes, it would be a cool power to have, but it would also be not a great power to have, because you'd smell like rotten eggs everywhere you go.
And the circus was a perfect cover for him.
Correct. But another unknown power, or people don't know he has this power, he can adhere to surfaces, kind of like Spider-Man.
Yeah.
He has that capability as well. And as KB mentioned, he's a devout Catholic, despite his appearance. He has indigo fur, yellow eyes, prehensile tail, and being the child of Azazel, who is essentially a strain of devil.
Yeah.
He's like a demon. He comes from hell, a hell dimension, and he's so devoutly Catholic based on his, outside of his upbringing or hereditary portion of being part demon. Like that's crazy. I love that character and his faith, and he's also a wisecracker, which is
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert! If you haven't, years ago he died in the comic books. He's back now, but Wolverine was actually took his death pretty hard, because he would say that Nightcrawler is the only one that could really make me laugh. I liked having him around and doing all those little pranks and stuff that he used to do. So he's very lighthearted, but he's also very devout, and he's also sticks by his beliefs despite everything that where he comes from. And I think that's just a really cool character.
Yeah, a lot of courage to do that.
And he was one of my favorites as a child. I remember having the toys, the X-Men animated figures, not the X-Men animated figures, but just the action figures.
When you're young, you
with the suction
gravitate towards
cups.
them.
He looked really cool.
Oh,
and he
yeah.
had like the
Yep.
bendy tail, and it's just an awesome character. So that's my number 2. Moving on to number 1, Don.
Before I say number 1, I have to give my my honorable mention.
Go for it.
Ooh, she was gonna be on the list, but I know if I talk about this person, like if you haven't seen Orphan Black, you would have no idea at all who I'm talking about. But there's a character on the show. She's one of the clones. Her name's Cosima. She's the one working on a cure. Like, she's a very hippie chick. She's got like dreadlocks, like glasses. Obviously, they're all twins, but they're all so completely different from each other. There's like the soccer mom, the one who used to be an alcoholic, the one who was I want to call it an escort. I think that's a PC term for it.
Yeah, that's good.
Cosima is by far the coolest one out of all them. She's very very hippie-like. That's the also best PC way to
And I
say
don't know
it.
if I'm going to say her name right. The actress, is it Tatiana like Maisley or something? I forget.
The one who plays everybody?
Yeah, she is an amazing
Beth
actress
would
to be
know.
able to do all the different iterations of that character. Like, it's a clone. It's a girl that's been cloned
Yep.
multiple times, and each clone has its own personality. For one actress to kind of embrace all these different personality traits and just play each character differently. That's talent right there.
She is. She's an incredible. Like when you watch it, you don't think that it's like remotely cheesy at all.
And I think you actually get the feel that it's, even though it looks like the exact same girl, it feels like it's different people.
Yeah, and you
which
see
is
like
cool.
the struggles that they're going with on that. It's very, very nuts. But that I wanted to give that show a shout out. It's like a BBC America show. And I absolutely love it. I'm looking forward to coming back. But now on to my number one. This is, to me, I find it a little hilarious, but I am a member of this fandom. And my number one is from House Slytherin, and he is Severus Snape.
Nice. I didn't even think of that.
Severus, like, okay, so I read the first 3 books, and then I kind of gave up on reading the books and just like aggressively watched the movies when they came out, which is, it's a big bummer on my end because I should be reading more. But when I was reading about Snape, I started off hating him. When I'm watching Snape, I'm like hating him, but I'm like, oh, he's such a cool character. But when everything ties together and you see what Snape was really doing the whole time and who he is as a person and the love that he has for Harry Potter and the things that he was willing to do against Voldemort, how close him and Dumbledore were, you see what a deep character he is. Like, I watch it, right? Like, now, after, like, everything ties in and I go through and I watch Harry Potter again, I really pay attention to him as a character. He, to me, is probably one of the most important characters in that whole series because of sacrifices that he's had to make. All the times that you think he's punishing Harry or being a jerk to Harry, he's not. He's actually like trying to prepare Harry for what he has to do and actually prepare himself for what he may have to do. Just so deep, like, I don't know. Like, I usually go all crazy action, like nut stuff, but this is one where I knew he had to be number one. As soon as he came into my mind, Bond got the bump back, and I liked V better than I liked Bond, so like Bond just kind of kept bumping back, but I had to mention him. I love the Harry Potter franchise. Like, I wouldn't want to like throw in all of the different characters. I like Snape the most out of that whole series, but there are tons of excellent characters in that. That's a very well-written book series. They translated it perfectly into the movies, and that's why that definitely made number one for me.
It's perfect. Great pick.
Thank you.
My number one, I'm going a bit new school.
Okay.
So,
Can you go new school in about 3 minutes?
okay. Miss Marvel Kamala Khan.
Nice.
So, interesting thing is there's actually been some stories written about her character recently in like Newsweek and things like that, literally in the past week. With everything going on in the Trump administration with the banning of Muslims, this is a character who is of Muslim origin. Her family comes from Pakistan. Her mother and her father left Pakistan when her mother was 4 months pregnant with her. So they moved to Jersey City. And long story short, she's just trying to fit in with the American culture, and her family has those strong, Muslim roots. And basically, she gets hit with Terrigen Mist and becomes an Inhuman. She can stretch, she can shrink, she can grow, and she also has healing abilities. And becomes the watchdog of her community.
Nice.
So here's a Muslim immigrant who is the hero of her community and stopping crime. In fact, a lot of people have made photos of her ripping up Trump photos.
Yeah.
They've also taken a famous cover of I guess it was a cover a long time ago. I haven't seen it. I didn't get a chance to look for it. But Captain America punching Hitler in the face.
Yeah.
They've done one of her punching Donald Trump in the face.
Yeah,
So-
but we don't want to get political.
We don't want to get political.
We don't want
to get political.
Let's not open
But let's. What I want to emphasize though is the importance of the character in the time.
Yeah.
It's not to get political now. It's Captain America was this at this time in the 40s. This character is doing a similar thing now, right now.
Right.
And the book is fantastic. Like on my trip to Galway, I got the hardcover omnibus, which was like the whole first run, like 20 issues. Fantastic read. Like reminds you of like Spider-Man, like reading early Spider-Man because the character just got their powers. They're a teenager trying to fit into the world.
Yeah.
It's really, really good. And if you haven't checked it out, I know there's a lot of people who are, in our age that are doubting the new Marvel. Definitely check her out. Just a fantastic character, and a character that like people kind of need right now. Some people need that character.
That's great.
So she's definitely my number one.
My number one is going to kind of parallel Don's number one in a way.
Oh,
in a way.
wow.
In a
Okay.
way. I know KB's already seen it. Have you seen Lost?
I have seen Lost.
Okay, Lost is my favorite television show of all time. And I was thinking of different characters from here. I was thinking Saeed. I was thinking Charlie Pace. Nobody even came close to
I know
my
what
number
you're
one.
gonna say.
Who?
I don't want to ruin it for
Okay,
you.
my number one.
Begins with the letter D.
Yes, his name is Desmond David Hume. He was born in Glasgow, Scotland, and there's so much to talk about. But I really want to, like, all his backstories were cool, but I want to focus just more on the time on the island.
Yeah.
He was sailing around the world to prove his worth to the woman he loves. He ended up crashing on the island. He met a man named Kelvin Inman, who also was connected through the backstories to Kate and Saeed.
Yep.
And he was taken to the Swan Station, a.k.a. the Hatch, and he was pushing the button every 108 minutes. He did that for 3 years until he discovered that Inman was going to try to take off and escape the island because Desmond was the sucker he got to replace him.
Yep.
He missed pushing the button, which caused 815 to crash on the island. The hatch is eventually found by the survivors, and then Desmond, to the end of the season, ends up imploding the hatch, thinking the button is fake.
Yep.
When he turns the failsafe key, he's bombarded by electromagnetic radiation, and he starts getting visions of Charlie dying. And he ends up continually going to save him and doing all the things that Charlie would have done and would have died doing. He does it himself so Charlie wouldn't die. But then he had to see the whole heart-wrenching emotion of seeing Charlie drown because
Yes.
Charlie didn't want Desmond to take his place for that one. And basically, Charlie gave the message, this is not Penny's boat. And again, I'm doing
I remember
very
that.
high level. There's a lot of stuff in here. Then season 4, he boards a freighter sent by Charles Widmore, Penny's father. Eventually reunites with Penny. And then the Man in Black comes into play a couple seasons later. And he's used by the Man in Black due to his tolerance for electromagnetism. And he's basically used to try to sink the island.
Yeah.
And all of this leads to the Flash Sideways on that last season, where basically Desmond is responsible for basically awakening the other survivors on where they really are.
Yes.
And they all have to move on together. But on the island story, I love the use of flashbacks because the entire series of Lost dealt with each character's flashbacks, except for Desmond.
Yeah.
Because all of his flashbacks were his mind traveling back in time and his current consciousness in the show going back in time and altering his past events. And I think that's just such a cool...
It was such a phenomenal show.
It's a great show.
It really was. I
do
got to watch
wanna
it again.
I do want to point out, take a look at Flashes Before Your Eyes in season 3, which is a great episode, which kind of deals with what happened after he turns the failsafe key.
Yeah.
But possibly the greatest episode in Lost history, The Constant, season 4, where it deals with Desmond being discharged from
The army.
the army, the Royal Scots Guard, or whatever it is, and
Yeah.
his mind keeps going back to the island, and then his mind from prior to the island ends up in current time, and he doesn't recognize anybody, and he has to find a constant that exists in both timelines in 1996 and 2004. And of course, it's Penny, and that leads to that.
But what do they call it? A token?
No, they call it the constant.
All right.
Yeah, it's you got to find your constant. I don't know, unless you're referring to something different. But
No. I'm sorry.
no, but I just, it's a very heart wrenching. The emotion, that show was actually used, I think, for Emmy consideration.
Yeah.
Or they were using it for some type of award. They were using that specific episode. It's a great episode. Definitely check out Lost. I know it gets a lot of flack for its ending. I didn't mind it. I like the ending. I'll get comments on that, but that's a great episode. Check that out. Desmond David Hume, amazing character, crazy amounts of character development. So that's my number one. So
I got to do something
stuff.
for Beth real quick.
go ahead.
Charlie!
Yes. So his child Charlie or
No.
Charlie Pace or Charlie the Unicorn.
No.
Oh, okay.
So,
Charlie bit my finger.
what's Charlie's girlfriend's
Oh,
name?
she was played by the girl from Once Upon a Time, Claire Littleton.
Claire.
Yeah.
So, Beth, when Beth was watching
Oh,
it,
she's commenting right now. Yeah.
she'd always go, Charlie! That's crazy
Well,
that you picked Charlie.
that's a great
She
list.
loved that show.
See, we're gonna get along just fine.
Yeah.
All right. So before we wrap up the show, I want to make mention. So go back earlier, share this video with your friends because the super team, we might be doing a special prize. We're going to let you, anybody who wants to pick a team, you can pick one team from that super team list we just made. Choose them now. Reach out to us on Facebook, on our Facebook page. Send us a message, For Your Geek Podcast on Facebook, which team you think is going to take it all. If that team wins, whoever chose that team, we'll put your names in a hat. Maybe you'll win one of these pop figures. Maybe we'll go and we'll buy a pop figure and send it up. Maybe we'll go find a figure of the winning team and we'll put those two together and send you that. I don't know what we're going to do yet, but we'll do a giveaway at some point for something. So share it with your friends. Check that out. KB, let's talk about some other existential stuff. That's kind of tough to say, but talk about it.
What do we got? Covers of the week.
Covers of the week on our Facebook
Yep.
page. Marvel, DC, we do that. Twitter and Instagram For Your Geek. YouTube For Your Geek. I'm putting the old episodes on YouTube now.
Nice.
What else do we got? We got our Twitch that we're going to eventually do. Anything else you want to plug, Don?
Geekasmic, G33KGASMIC. That's on YouTube, Twitch. We usually stream Tuesdays and
Facebook.
Saturdays on Facebook. Me and my buddy Corey, a.k.a. Relics Blood, a.k.a. Elder Relic. We do
AKA?
gaming. A.k.a.
He
the
was,
Lumberjack.
he was,
Wow.
he was here 2 weeks ago.
The Bloody Lumberjack. Yeah, this Saturday we're gonna be doing the Ghost Recon beta. Tuesday we're gonna be doing Horizon. KB will be joining us on Tuesday's show. I think that's really it for me.
All right.
Tap House, Java House, good food, good drinks.
And thank you to our sponsor, Pachico's Furniture. You can see all their specials going on the screen right now, so check them out too. Been here since day one, helping us out.
Yeah,
And,
you want good quality used furniture, video games, electronics. Check out Pachico's Furniture.
They also do moving. For moving expenses, you want professional movers. They're friendly. They're affordable. They're awesome. Check them out.
Yeah.
And we're gonna go out before we hit up the catchphrase. I'll let you guys take care of that. We're gonna go out with the the Galway Street Club.
Yep.
And this is called Bees Wings. So I'm gonna have a little snippet of that as we head out. So thank you all for joining. KB, Don, hit him with our catchphrases.
Start your weekend with your geek friends.
And get your geek on.
Thanks, everybody.